Okay, so this is going to be a video with the question and only the correct answer for the Arkansas state law portion of the Arkansas real estate test. So number 1, the Arkansas Real Estate Commission laws and regulations are an expression of the police power of the state. If a specific time period for delivering earnest money is not specified in an offer to purchase real estate, how long after the acceptance of the offer must earnest money be delivered to the firm and deposited into a trust account? 3 days. Earnest money has to be in a trust account within 3 days following the acceptance of the offer. Number 3, an unlicensed person has been receiving $50 cash from the licensed salesperson for a successful buyer lead. Is the agent in violation? Yes, the agent is in violation. The Arkansas Real Estate Commission could suspend the licensee's license. Under Arkansas state law, any person who acts as a real property auctioneer must be licensed as a real estate principal broker or licensed agent under the supervision of a principal or executive broker. Number 5, a licensee fails to disclose his or her agency relationship under the time and manner required by law. If found in violation of the Arkansas Real Estate Commission, may impose a fine of $1,000. So non-disclosure can be disciplined with a $1,000 fine. Who must have a real estate license to perform the following activities? A company that, for a fee, not a commission, matches individuals from different parts of the country who want to exchange properties and assists them in doing so. So basically, if you are acting as an agent, you have to have a license. If you're a resident manager of a building, you're exempt. If you're a person that's selling real estate under a bankruptcy or a court order, you're not required. If you're an executor selling a descendants building, you're not required. But if you are collecting a fee to match people from different parts of the country who want to exchange properties and you insist them in doing so, you do have to have a license, according to Arkansas state law. How many brokers can act for real estate firm? Only one. Only one principal broker per firm. When advertising real property, real estate licensees must indicate that the ads were placed in the name of a licensed real estate broker. So in order to advertise real property, you must indicate the licensed real estate broker's name, the broker's firm's name. Number 9, the listing agreement with a seller has expired, and the seller lists with a different brokerage firm. The original listing agent now has a buyer interested in the seller's property. The original listing agent cannot disclose to the buyer offers that the seller received while they were listed with that agent. So if your buyer, you find a buyer that wants to purchase a seller's property that you already worked with the seller, but you're not working with them anymore, they're working with a different broker, and you now have a buyer that wants to buy their property, you can't tell them about the offers that the seller received previously. You have to let them offer their own offer so that it's fair to the seller. A person must be licensed as a real estate broker or salesperson if that person is engaging in the real estate business, period. Under Arkansas real estate rules, a broker's price opinion could not be used by a lender as the basis in determining the value of the buyer's residence for the purpose of obtaining a loan. So in Arkansas, the broker's price opinion can't be used as a appraisal. Can't be used as an appraisal to get a loan. You have to get that from an actual appraiser. So number 12, licensees who have had their license suspended or revoked by the Arkansas Real Estate Commission will have their names and case information published in a newspaper of statewide circulation. Number 13, which of the following licensee designations in Arkansas may not supervise other licensees? An associate broker. A principal broker can supervise. An executive branch broker can supervise. And an executive broker can supervise. But an associate broker cannot. Number 14. A broker signs a listing agreement with a seller. The agreement contains the following clause. If the property has not been sold after 3 months from the date of this signing, this agreement will automatically continue for an additional 3 months period thereafter until the property is sold. Based on these facts, the clause is basically an quote-unquote until sold listing, thereby lacking the specific duration requirement for the listings or extensions thereof. Number 15. After the successful completion of the real estate exam, how long does the new licensee have to pay the license fee and the fee for the Arkansas Real Estate Recovery Fund? 90 days. You have 3 months after you complete your real estate exam to pay the licensee's fee for the Real Estate Arkansas and the fee for the Arkansas Real Estate Recovery Fund. 90 days. Number 16. Real estate principal brokers licensed only in Arkansas must maintain an office in Arkansas. You don't have to live in Arkansas, but you have to maintain an office in Arkansas. In Arkansas, real estate commissioners serve for 3 years. Arkansas real estate commissioners serve for 3 years. In Arkansas, number 18. In Arkansas, who is generally responsible for ensuring that the closing is handled in exact accordance with the contract? That would be the principal broker. The principal broker is the one that answers for everything. They are ultimately responsible for everyone who is underneath them and making sure that they do everything properly. Number 19. The selling broker wishes to accompany the listing broker on the offer presentation. May this occur? Yes, it may, but only with the listing agent's permission. So a selling broker can accompany the listing broker, but only if the listing broker wants him to be there, allows him to be there, him or her to be there. Number 20. An associate broker is not satisfied with her present real estate company and has decided to become an associated with another company. Before the associate broker can begin actively selling for the new company, a transfer application must be completed and signed by the new employing broker along with other real estate commission's requirements. So you have to fill out a transfer application, complete it, get it signed by the employing broker, the new one that you're going with, along with the real estate commission requirements. So, 21, to provide evidence that the person is qualified to conduct business as a real estate licensee, Arkansas law requires that each applicant for a license must do all of the following except You do not have to post a $2,000 performance bond. You do have to pass the examination, file an application for testing, and then furnish proof of a good reputation. Number 22. In Arkansas, an applicant for a real estate license must do all of the following except live within the state of Arkansas. Like I said before, you do have to have an office in Arkansas, but you do not have to live in the state of Arkansas. Number 23. Once a licensee has been terminated, the principal broker must notify the Arkansas Real Estate Commission within 7 days. So he has 1 week to let the commission know that he's terminated an employee. Number 24. Who should complete the owner property disclosure report? The seller. The seller completes the owner property disclosure report. Number 25. Which is true of a broker's price opinion under the Arkansas real estate rules? It may be issued to a potential seller for the purpose of obtaining a listing. Number 26. A licensee representing a seller in an agency relationship has several required duties under Arkansas real estate rules, but is not required to perform an act of service that constitutes the practice of law. So, a licensee representing a seller in an agency relationship is not required to perform or act in service that constitutes the practice of law. So that's for the lawyers, not for the real estate agent. Number 27. For which act is the Arkansas Real Estate Commission required to suspend or revoke a licensee's license? For being found liable in a civil trial for an illegal discrimination. So illegal discrimination will suspend or revoke your license. Number 28. What best describes a broker price opinion prepared by a licensee under Arkansas law? It is an estimate of the property's probable selling price. Under Arkansas real estate law, the licensee, who is ultimately responsible for all brokers and agents employed with their firm, is the principal broker. The principal broker is first in charge, then the executive, and then the designated, what is it? So the principal is the first in charge, and then there's the executive, and then there's the associate brokers. So, number 30. A broker has obtained an offer to purchase for a residence that is listed with his firm. After the buyers sign a purchase and sale agreement, the broker accepts their earnest money deposit. The broker must immediately provide the buyers with a copy of the agreement as a receipt for their deposit. So, as soon as the broker has obtained an offer to purchase for a residence that's listed with his firm, he must accept their earnest money and then immediately provide the buyer with a copy of the agreement and a receipt for their earnest money deposit. And then deposit that into an escrow account within 3 days. Number 31. A property manager agreement is a written contract between the owner and property manager. (32) How soon after the conclusion of a real estate transaction should the principal broker withdraw earned professional fees or compensation from the trust account? Immediately. So they have to put it into the escrow within 3 days, but as soon as the conclusion of the real estate transaction, the principal broker will withdraw the earned professional fees or compensation from the trust account immediately. So your broker is going to pay you immediately after you close the sale. All right, number 33. What must a licensee do with the real estate pocket card upon termination of employment with a real estate broker? They have to give it to the broker. So what a licensee do with the real estate pocket card upon termination of employment with a real estate broker? Give it to the broker. Okay. The Arkansas Real Estate Commission has the right to revoke or suspend an agent's license for all of the following except when an agent has written permission from the property owner to leave a real estate sign on the property even once the listing agreement has expired. Number 35. A pre-licensing student successfully completed her real estate educational requirements on November 1st, 2016. What is the last date that she may apply for the salesperson exam? There is no expiration date for applying. Number 36. All funds received by a broker in connection with an accepted contract on behalf of his or her principal must be deposited into an escrow or trust account within 3 days of obtaining all signatures for the contract. Number 37. The Arkansas Real Estate Commission makes and enforces the rules by which all real estate licensees must abide. Number 38. The Arkansas Real Estate Commission must undertake an investigation of a licensee based on all the following except verbal complaints made by a third party to the executive director of the Arkansas Real Estate Commission. Number 39. Upon obtaining a listing, a broker or licensed salesperson is obligated to give the seller signing the listing a legible, signed, and true and correct copy. Upon obtaining a listing, a broker or licensed salesperson is obligated to give the seller signing the listing a legible, signed, true, and correct copy. Number 40. Regarding duties and licensing in Arkansas, personal real estate assistants may insert factual information into form contracts under the employing broker's supervision and approval. Number 41. What are the 3 types of agency recognized in Arkansas? Seller, buyer, and disclosed dual. Number 42. What information about a property would a licensee most likely be accepted to have knowledge and disclose to buyers under the Arkansas Real Estate License Law? The presence of lead under an older property. What information about a property would a licensee most likely be expected to have knowledge and disclose to the buyers under the Arkansas Real Estate License Law? The presence of lead on an older property. A broker delivered $500 cash to ABC Escrow Closing Service per the instructions of the buyer and seller. The day of closing, the escrow's closing agent called to tell the broker the $500 was missing. Who was responsible? The buyer and the seller would be responsible. Number 44. Regarding listing agreements in Arkansas, which of the following, if contained in a listing agreement could result in a disciplinary action against the licensee. No specific termination date. Regarding a listing agreement in Arkansas, which of the following, if contained in a listing agreement, could result in a disciplinary action against the licensee? No specific termination date. So basically they're saying that the listing agreement must have a termination date. Number 45. In Arkansas, the real estate license law is administered by the Arkansas Real Estate Commission. The real estate license law in Arkansas is administered by the Arkansas Real Estate Commission. Number 46. The owner property disclosure report may be delivered to the prospective buyer in any of the following situations except after closing. Number 47. The brokerage relationship with the buyer or seller as agent must be determined and all necessary agreements executed prior to the time into which a purchase and sale agreement is entered. A broker's relationship with a buyer or seller as agent must be determined and all necessary agreements executed prior to the time into which a purchase and sale agreement is entered. So you have to let them know who your brokerage is and, who you are as an agent with a buyer and or a seller, either one, like whichever one you're representing. If you're representing the seller or the buyer, you have to let them know what brokerage you work for, who you are as an agent, and then you can enter into the sale agreement. Number 48. A broker leaves on a 2-week vacation, leaving written instructions for a selling broker to present any offers on the broker's listed property. A selling broker should present all offers. Number 49. In an attempt to close the deal, a timeshare broker tells the purchaser that the development will drastically increase the value within the next 45 days. Which of the following best describes the broker's statement? The law prohibits predicting or implying specific or immediate increases in the price or value of timeshares. So you cannot do that. You can't say that a timeshare will increase drastically within such and such amount of time in order to convince somebody to purchase the timeshare. Last question. Number 50. A brokerage firm wishes to change its office location. The principal broker is responsible for submitting a picture of the new office sign, returning the old licensee license and pocket cards, and including a $30 transfer fee per license.